I mean, the first question is, what are the relevance and emerging trends of your sector in the era of Empress type work?
Okay. Yeah. My name is Hanu Papu. I'm a professor at Washington State University, a professor of plant pathology. So I mainly conduct research on plant diseases that are economically important to our region and also the world. So I am part of this Empress evaluation team. And specifically, my job is to look at the Empress plant health component, the transboundary pests and diseases, and how Empress has been addressing them over the years. And so that's one specific sector that as part of the evaluation team that I've been looking at.
Do you want me to ask the question?
Yeah.
What I wanted to tell you is that I forgot and I remember. If you want, it would be also nice to give an example.
Mm-hmm.
Like very simple, your area of your sector in the area of Empress.
Empress has been very active in responding to emerging disease outbreaks in all parts of the world. One good example is this rust on wheat. So there are new races of rust that showed up a few years ago, and they have the potential to threaten the wheat all over the world, because many of the wheat that we grow, they do not have resistance to these races. So FAO Empress stepped in and very quickly built information base about these rusts and contributed to capacity building in many of the East African countries, because these new races of rusts actually originated or first found in East Africa. And so Empress has been very effective in the area of capacity building for wheat rusts. And there are several other examples. Cassava mosaic is another major disease threat to cassava, which is a staple crop in Africa and many other parts of the world. FAO has been very effective in responding to this threat, mainly in the area of capacity building for surveillance and surveys, and also developing management options, enabling the countries to develop that capacity in clean seed health systems, for example. And so there another a very good example, an ongoing threat is a disease of banana. It's caused by a fungus called Fusarium. And the real threat is that one of the new races of this Fusarium can be a serious disease issue, a threat to banana. Experts think that if this particular disease is not managed, banana could disappear. So it could be that serious. So FAO is Empress is spending quite a bit of an effort in bringing countries together, various ministries of agriculture, national laboratories, partners and stakeholders and private sector, and has been doing a very good advocacy to increase the awareness about the threat of this disease to banana, and come up with a coordinated framework for managing it. So Empress has been, as far as the plant pests and diseases are concerned, the new outbreaks, it's been very relevant and has been very effective in responding to these new threats.
Okay, good. Yeah, try to keep sentence.
Quite a few.
Just okay.
Sorry.
Okay.
There are quite a few achievements that FAO accomplished in addressing these transboundary pests and diseases. One good example is developing a knowledge base for cassava mosaic in East Africa, capacity building in many of the countries, and contributed to developing some management options as well, by enabling research and by partnering with some of the international research centers.
Perfect. Yeah, you're right. what are the gap?
Yeah, the evaluation team, we are looking at what are the gaps and how to address those gaps going forward to make Empress more relevant, more effective in addressing these transboundary pests and diseases. One of the gaps we found was, as far as Empress plant health is concerned, is that the technical expertise can be strengthened. The right now it's staffed by only one person here at HQ, who is handling pretty much all transboundary pests and diseases all over the world. So, he's stretched very thin. So we feel that that is a gap where it should be strengthened. It should be addressed by having more staff here at HQ. That's one of the gaps that we identified.
Yeah. Could you please say it again?
Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, in a way that if you say it again, it will be more straightforward.
Okay.
One person.
Yeah, here.
That's crazy.
It's crazy, yes. Yeah,
How's possible?
exactly. That's why we're recommending that.
But
Yeah.
wait a second. And what about at the regional level in the country offices?
And at the regional level, there are plant protection officers who are, again, in many of the places, they are understaffed. One person is managing 40 projects in Bangkok.
So maybe you could add that. I don't know.
Sure.
Here at HQ as well as in the country.
Con-
Maybe it's just one person.
Sure. Yeah.
No, I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, if you
Okay. Yeah, the evaluation team, we are looking at what are the gaps and how to address them. And one that we found in case of Empress Plant Health is that the program is understaffed. So we have one person here at HQ dealing with pretty much all of these disease issues and pest issues. And at the regional level as well, the plant protection officers, we feel that they are stretched thin. Each one is handling multiple projects. So as a result, there is not much coordination between regional offices and HQ. And that's a gap that can be relatively easily addressed by strengthening the capacity here at HQ, by expanding the staff for plant health.
Okay.
Clear
That's
enough?
good. No, that's perfect. I'm just thinking, you know, and I should not think. I'm just thinking, this is I'm just thinking, but I'm just thinking that.
So a technical person, so that they can actually communicate with the technical people on ground,
Yes.
and so that to coordinate. So right now we have one person actually doing that here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. The last question is, what should FO do to move forward in the next years? Again, you've already said it.
Yeah, FAO has a very important role in addressing these transboundary pests and diseases because they threaten the sustainability of many of the important crops, cassava or banana or wheat. These are staples that contribute to food security in the world. And FAO Empress has a very important role to play, and it's very relevant going forward. And by advocacy and by bringing the countries in a region that are going to be affected together and preparing action plans and helping them in the area of capacity building. So FAO has a very important and very relevant role to play.